Thanks, Ray. I'm Al Mercer. I'm the Executive Director at the Veterans Leadership Program. And thank you. Before I get started, I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to a person that has taught me a thing or two about a thing or two. I'd like to ask Mary Evans to stand up for a moment. Mary has... Mary, you got to stand up now. Yeah, we're not done yet. So, Mary has retired last month after 15 years at Veterans Leadership Program. And on behalf of all the veterans you met every day, Mary, I want to say thank you very much for greeting them with such generosity and such goodwill. And for myself, Mary, thank you for teaching me a thing or two about a thing or two. Thank you. Yeah. Ray, again, I'd like to thank you. As your term as co-chair of the Board of Directors comes to an end in December, let me express my gratitude for your 22 years of service as a board member and board officer to Veterans Leadership Program, and for your service to our country as a decorated Vietnam veteran. Thank you, Ray. Ray's service in Vietnam reminds us all that Veterans Leadership Program was founded by a group of concerned Vietnam veterans nearly 30 years ago. So thank you to our founders, some of whom are here, Tony Accomando, Tom Fitzgerald, and others, who recognize the need to help other veterans returning from war. You can be proud of VLP today, founders. We work very hard every day to carry out your vision. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to our 22nd Partners in Leadership Award celebration. I'd also like to thank the Board of Directors and Advisory Committee for supporting our mission. Thank you. I am also very grateful to again thank Glenn Meekum for his hands-on leadership and commitment in serving as our event chairman. Thank you, Glenn. My deepest commendation and gratitude go to Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and to the partners at K&L Gates for serving as our commanders and chief lead sponsors. Your philanthropy has directly improved our ability to provide life-changing and, in some cases, life-saving services to our veterans and their families. To Highmark, happy anniversary. This is the 20th straight year you have sponsored this event. Thank you. Thank you. And to K&L Gates, your innovative model for supporting VLP is inspiring. Thank you both for your overwhelming generosity. Thank you, Walter. This year, despite an uncertain economy, the generosity from our sponsors, donors, and many supporters has been astounding. I'm appreciative for the board's broad support this community has shown VLP and must acknowledge these additional sponsors: the Pennsylvania Independent Oil and Gas Association, P.J. Dick Trumbull, King's Family Restaurants, Verizon Wireless Zone Premium Retailers, United States Steel Corporation, Range Resources Corporation, University of Pittsburgh, Ainsworth Pet Nutrition, National Kitchen and Bath Association, PNC Financial Services Group, AC Delevade, Ariba, Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania, Dick's Sporting Goods, Education Management Corporation, Fragasso Financial Advisors, Pittsburgh Steelers, UPMC, Duquesne Light, Nemacolin Woodlands Resort, J.P. Myers, and my dear friend and former shipmate who wishes to remain anonymous. Many are returning sponsors, and I thank you for your loyalty. A number of new sponsors aligned with us this year, and I welcome each of you in service to our region's heroes and families. I ask everyone to please take a moment to view the complete list of sponsors in your program book, and please express your gratitude to these exceptional organizations. The challenges this community faces in caring for our returning warriors and their families are great. For example, Allegheny County has the largest number of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans in the state out of 62 counties. And this region has one of the largest concentrations of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans in the country. At VLP, we have seen a 30% increase in the number of client visits in each of the past 2 years. Unemployment, homelessness, and poverty rates for veterans are higher, much higher, than for their civilian counterparts. And the signature wounds of these wars, traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress disorder, and polytrauma, present the community with new health care, rehabilitation, readjustment, and reintegration challenges for decades to come. Despite the challenges we face, I would like to tell you about some of the positive local initiatives and activities affecting our country and our community. First, after the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mike Mullen, visited VLP just 18 months ago, our Director of Programs and Development, Annette Romaine, was selected to participate on the Homelessness Advisory Committee for the National Community Blueprint Initiative. This initiative is directly linked to Mrs. Obama's and Dr. Biden's joiningforces.government website and the President and Secretary of Veterans Affairs' goal to end homelessness in 5 years. We have taken VLP's hands-on, reality-based perspective, combined it with our community's best practices, and directly influenced how the issue of homelessness among veterans is being addressed. Our region's model will be available for others all across the country. And in real terms, VLP's recognition as a top-performing agency by the Federal Department of Labor and Housing and Urban Development resulted in VLP being recognized locally by county government and being awarded another permanent housing program to serve our veterans and their families. Second, we're very proud to have worked with the Bank of New York Mellon to conduct an innovative employment event focused on wounded warriors and their spouses. Others involved in the event included Aon Corporation, Prudential, and the Wounded Warrior Project. And again, in real terms, VLP has hired veterans of the current conflict and the spouse of a current era veteran. They understand the real challenges and help us focus our programming. Third, with the help of our close partners, the Department of Veterans Affairs, Allegheny County Department of Human Services, the United Way, and many other agencies, we have been able to help a growing number of veterans and family members with a very wide range of challenges. Our partners share our point of view that there is no more important, meaningful, or purposeful work than serving veterans, that providing this service is not negotiable, and that it is not charity. It is our duty to serve those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of us all. And finally, also at a personal level, we have helped a 54-year-old Iraqi war veteran obtain essential health care and training that will lead to a degree and a new career. A 3-combat tour Marine with a spouse and 5 children achieve a degree of financial stability that will allow them to follow their dreams and goals. An 84-year-old World War II veteran and 40-year career police officer who just needed a little help with his utilities and didn't know where else to turn. A young female veteran of the war in Afghanistan who needed short-term support that prevented her from becoming unemployed and homeless. There are many, many more personal stories that have positive and successful outcomes because of the unrestricted funding we have received from tonight's sponsors, advertisers, ticket buyers, and donors that make up for the restrictions and shortfalls in our government funding. Yes, indeed, our founders and supporters can be proud of the work VLP is doing, but there is still more to be done. As our heroes return from war, they will have the same dreams, goals, and aspirations as they had before they went to war. But many of them will need help readjusting to civilian life. And after the parades and celebrations are over, those readjustment and reintegration challenges will remain, perhaps for decades to come. We believe that our warriors and families need a place that is inspiring, empowering, respectful, and supportive of the challenges they face. A comprehensive place for caring, respite, peace, and healing after witnessing the horrors of war. Whether it be for a day or for decades, this special place will provide that support, connections, and services needed by each veteran so that they can live their best life. This is VLP's dream, and we remain committed to ensuring each individual who has worn the uniform receives gratitude, care, and support that they need. We are grateful that the Hillman Foundation recently invested in our vision and that the Bank of New York Mellon Foundation has recently invested in our ability to provide basic needs to our warriors and families as part of this vision. We still have a long way to go to create the place. Now is the time for action. Now is the time for this place. Our nation has been at war longer than any other time in our history, and our warriors are quietly making history, serving in combat longer than almost any service members in the past. This stark reality will require a place and a prolonged intensive community support approach to counterbalance and heal the ravages of war. Failing to take this action will result in a shockwave of broken families and yet another generation of veterans entering a familiar downward spiral. Tonight, I am asking for your continued commitment to help us meet the growing and unprecedented needs of individuals in need of our services, and to join other investors to help us meet our dreams and goals. Our sponsors have demonstrated their support and their generosity and allowed many of us to attend tonight's event as their guest. Your support is needed now to help us make a difference in the lives of those who serve and sacrifice on our behalf. So when you leave the hall after tonight's program, please stop by our donation table and demonstrate your support, or please use the envelope provided in your program book and mail your donation to VLP. My final thank yous are to all of you in uniform and your families. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. And a special hoorah goes to my staff at VLP. I'm humbled every day to see this team on the front lines with passion and selfless commitment to our mission, helping those in need. Thank you, Team VLP. And thank you all for coming and sharing in our 22nd Partners in Leadership Award celebration. And please enjoy the rest of the program.